Please join us every week for a new episode of Understanding the Human Condition with Dr. James Flowers. Dr. Flowers and his most admired mentors, respected colleagues, and VIP guests will share valuable insight into underlying health causes, conditions, and issues. These in-depth yet approachable episodes are a great resource for both private individuals and industry professionals. Our esteemed host, Dr. James Flowers, is one of the most recognized and respected names in the field of chronic pain, mental health, and substance use disorders, both nationally and internationally. Dr. Flowers is the founder of J. Flowers Health Institute, located in Houston, Texas. For more information about J. Flowers Health Institute and its concierge services, go to jflowershealth.com or dial 713-783-6655. And be sure to mention this podcast.
Welcome to Understanding the Human Condition with Dr. James Flowers.
Hey, Robin.
Hey, you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's cold outside, but I'm great.
But it feels good not to have the earphones on.
It does.
Yeah. We've got a special guest today that I think that you'll enjoy.
I think so.
Gabriela Gerhart from the Motherhood Center.
Hi, Gabriela.
Hello. Hello.
Thank you for coming in today.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Can you hear us okay, Adam?
Yeah, he's good.
All right. Well, I thought I'd start with a bio, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
Yep.
So, Gabriela Gerhart is the founder of the Motherhood Center. She established this haven for mothers in 2000, turning a lifelong dream into reality. Gabriela discovered her passion for babies and childcare at an early age while growing up in a small village in the Czech Republic. She received her degree in pediatric nursing and worked in the pediatric ER there before accepting a position in the United States. Once here, she quickly realized that women lacked the village and family aspect of pregnancy and support. The idea for the Motherhood Center grew out of Gabriela's desire to provide women a resource they can trust, a place where they can access current information, instructional care, and professionals that will cater to their individual situation throughout the adjustment of pregnancy and motherhood. The Motherhood Center is her way of offering these amazing women not only her expertise, but all the best Houston has to offer the mother, the child, and the family. Today, Gabriela touches the lives of thousands of infants, parents, and families through the Motherhood Center in Houston and virtually all over the country. Welcome.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
amazing.
Thank
That
you.
is so cool. So tell us about the Motherhood Center. What is the Motherhood Center? Where is it? And tell us everything Motherhood Center.
So, I started the Motherhood Center in 2000, and it's essentially is a one-stop shop for expecting and new parents.
Wow.
So we are trying to. It's a non-medical facility or non-medical center, and so we try to do kind of a holistic approach to pregnancy and motherhood. So everything from educational classes, exercise classes, childcare services, different mommy groups and support groups,
Sure.
and so yeah, just kind of a one of our clients called it Mommy Country Club.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Robin, did you do anything like that?
No, never. No. Mine was trial by fire. And
Well, that's what we are trying to prevent, because we do have a lot of grandmas which they say, I wish there was
Right?
something like that, or even we've been around for now it's going to be 21 years,
Right.
but a lot
Wow.
of kind of older moms or ladies which are now in their 50s, they're like, why we didn't have something like that? Because it really is the Motherhood Center is the only center in the world.
Wow.
Really?
Sadly, but
That's a lot.
hopefully we will be able to change that. But
yeah, so is your goal to have one like in every major city? And
yeah, I think every city should have Motherhood Center in it.
That's amazing.
yeah, it's a great idea.
And you're right here in the River Oaks area of
Yes.
Houston. Okay, wonderful.
It says that you combine luxury, education, and support to expectant new moms, and we're intrigued by everything that you offer there, but it was mentioning parenting classes, prenatal yoga, nanny placements, breastfeeding classes, and it said private services. So I was asking you earlier, what does that include? So,
Sure. I mean, in general, all of our services and classes can be private also. So clients can schedule it around their kind of a convenience and kind of their schedule. But we also do a lot of our services where we go to our clients' homes. And so that would be the lactation services, in-home massages, postpartum doulas, baby doulas, nanny placements, babysitting services, lactation support. I think I just mentioned that. So, yeah.
What is a doula?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of a
Yep.
odd word,
Yeah.
a little bit. So doula, it's a really a Greek word, and it means mothering the mother.
Got it.
And
Okay.
so when I started my career in Houston, I was really called baby nurse.
Okay. Yeah.
And so for a lot of people, kind of the doula kind of replaced the term baby nurse.
Got it.
But initially, it was people were viewing it just there. If you have a doula, it means labor, like a labor doula.
Okay.
And so as this term became kind of a little bit more familiar to our expecting clients, we start kind of creating the differentiation because there is a postpartum doula. Well, that nobody likes postpartum. You know,
Right.
it doesn't have a
Right.
kind of a nice connotation,
Right.
unfortunately, to that. And so we kind of carved out a term, baby doula.
Got it.
So you have labor doula and baby doula.
Okay.
So that's kind of naturally, okay, taking care of the mom, taking care of the baby.
Right.
And of course, there is a antepartum doula, so that it would be during, generally when clients are on bed rest, so they can still have kind of the support, someone coming to their home, kind of taking care of their needs there.
Yeah.
It's still a non-medical care. And of course, over the years now we have even death doula,
Wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so
wow.
so there's all kinds of fertility doula, and so the term doula really kind of mothering the mother,
Got it.
just kind of been evolving over the years.
What's the average length of time would you say that you work with a family or a mother? Yeah.
Good
So
question.
I would say probably depends on which service
Okay.
you know we are offering. So like with the postpartum doula, baby doula
Yeah.
services, that can be from we see the client like once a week for a few weeks,
Got it.
or we are there every day or every night for a
Yeah.
few weeks. Some clients, their desire is till the baby is sleeping through the night. You know, some clients are like, oh, can you be here till they go to college?
Yeah,
You know?
right.
So yeah,
Exactly.
so it could be something like that
Got it.
where
Sure.
lactation services, ideally it's maybe just that one visit and we
right.
kind of take care of things.
Got it.
Nanny placement, we have
Sure,
clients where,
right.
we
Yep.
already placed numerous caregivers over the
Sure.
years
Wow.
there. So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So do you have like a, I know you probably have office hours, but you probably have to have like a 24-hour service type of thing, right?
Yeah, our office hours, it's pretty much 24/7.
Just like ours, Robin.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Babies come unpredictably.
Exactly.
And there was definitely plenty
Yeah.
of calls,
Yeah.
at 10 o'clock at night.
It must be
Yeah.
so. It seems to me such an important aspect of that part of a family's life. I know in my own life I had a nanny. My mother didn't have a doula or anything like that, but I know that once I was born, she had a nanny who had been there for my sisters before me, and she ended up like working with my family for almost 50 years and was
Oh, wow.
really like my grandmother.
Yeah. big
And
family.
it's at times like more like my mother,
Yeah, I
and
bet.
it was just such an amazing nurturing relationship. And so what you guys do seems like such an important part of the human condition, part of a
Yeah.
woman's life and part of her child's life, and really the husband's, everybody's life in the family.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I always say we have such a honor and privilege to be there during these such a special times, because it is I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, physically, it's kind of major transition
Sure.
for really the mom and the dad, but it's really for the whole family, but the
Right.
emotional aspect.
Yeah.
And, and I kind of always tell people, you can be talking to a woman who is 90 years old and she remembers those times.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
And when
Yeah.
you start kind of talking about things, you can see her tearing up because it's it is such an emotional
Yeah.
time, and so so it's as hard as it is to be available 24/7, and it is every day of the
Yeah.
of the week. I mean, we just never know what kind of a call we get,
Right.
what kind of a
Sure.
need client has. Hearing those stories and how grateful clients are
Right.
that we are there, and it could be just really just for that one day when we just walk in and check on things, making sure everything is going well, and just really give a reassurance to this family that they are on the right track, or let's just adjust a little bit this, a little bit that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
things will be, smooth sailing, or
Yeah.
trying to,
Yeah, yeah.
just that is just such a great reward, and
Right.
and kind of a, it's just very positive
Right. Wow.
to work.
And so when you were in the Czech Republic as a nurse, was visualizing this. You came to the United States and you started working probably in a hospital system, and you were like, gosh, this is so different, or?
Yeah, so I never worked in the hospital system here.
Okay.
So I worked in the Czech Republic, and so we have a little kind of a different educational system. And so when I came here as an au pair.
Got it.
So I took care of 4 boys, ranging from 10 days to 9 years old.
Yeah.
And actually the 9-year-old now, they are our clients, and we are taking care of
That's great.
his little girl.
That's awesome.
So kind of going full circle really here in U.S. too.
Yeah.
And so when I met my husband when I was here just 4 months, and we fell in love and got married, and so I was naturally thinking, because of my nursing background, I will probably start working in some hospital here.
Yep.
Well, because of my education and there was basically the credits, nothing matched. And so for me, it would be starting completely all over.
Gosh.
And so at that point, I was like, I don't want to be back in school. And it just happened that my husband got a call from a friend of a friend, and they said, we just got home with a baby and have no idea what to do, and we've heard that your wife does.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so that was my first assignment. And so they called me baby nurse.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'm baby nurse. And one job led to another and another. And so I started training pretty soon other women. And
so amazing.
Kind of on the techniques I knew and kind of I brought in. And and rest is history.
That is so cool. Almost 21 years. So how many employees have you grown to?
So we do have a lot of employees and contractors.
Right.
So within kind of like the internal staff employees, I think we have 12 now, and about 50 contractors.
Gosh,
so
that's fantastic.
So we are able to touch many lives throughout Houston and really beyond now too.
That's so cool.
How has it changed in those 20-some years? What is there any difference? Have you seen a difference in your clients, or just?
Sure. I mean, so when I started, 21 years ago, let's say 20 years ago, pregnancy was not trendy. Motherhood was not trendy.
Right.
It's at that time, it's still like if you had an oversized shirt, that was your maternity wear.
Right.
Now, of course, the fashion is so different. The information, when I started, when I created the Motherhood Center, women at that time still been told as far as exercise, well, just kind of take it easy, just kind of, you can do a little light exercise. So when we start introducing prenatal yoga classes, it was new.
Yeah.
Well, now everybody does yoga, right? There's, yoga studio on every corner. And so prenatal exercise is very kind of given, natural.
Yeah.
And so there's pretty much, we have, I would say, 9 different businesses or departments within the Motherhood Center, and so each went through different transitions over the years. In education, of course, the information what we taught clients 20 years ago versus 10 years ago versus a month ago is different.
Right.
Kind of little tweaks on what we are kind of learning, but how clients are receiving information.
Right. Yeah.
20 years ago, there was no Dr. Google, you know?
Right.
And so in literally like in every aspect of the business, we've been going through so many transitions. And just really for me, it's being attuned with our clients, what they want, what they need. Sometimes we try some, classes because clients, how about this? What about that? And so we're like, well, we can give it a try. And sometimes it works, sometimes it does not.
Right.
And so kind of going with the flow a little bit on that too.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I know you had your child prior to 20 years ago. So
Yes.
what's the connection between you two?
We met on LinkedIn.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we met on LinkedIn. And then as we got to know each other, then I just joined the networking group. We share that connection now. But then I said, hey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. What do you think about that? So
That's so cool.
just think what you do is just so amazing. And getting the word out there is
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. No.
So something that you probably deal with families and with mothers and probably children as well, but in particular postpartum depression, maternal mental health awareness, right? I read that 1 in 5 new mothers experience postpartum depression. Tell me a little bit about that and your experience with it, and anything you want to talk about with that.
Sure. And so I did wanted to kind of share, we are not a,
Right.
specializing in postpartum depression,
Sure.
and I'm definitely not expert on that, but I see it on daily
Yeah.
basis,
Oh, I'm
sometimes
sure.
on hourly basis.
Right.
Yeah.
And definitely sometimes we are the ones who discover that there's attention needed, whenever we are in clients' homes or, kind of my first experience. And I always, as much as I wanted to be, pediatric nurse, I also wanted to be a psychologist.
go.
I had a lot of interest in my life, and I still do.
Yeah.
And so the mental health is a big component of what we do, because even through exercise, if woman is or massages, our massage therapists, they are there for the clients, nurturing the mom so she
Right.
can nurture the baby.
Right.
Our exercise program.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of being able to get attuned with your pregnant body and just really kind of like where you are. And so really in every aspect, what we do, we are touching,
Right.
on the mental health. And
Yeah.
and I have a couple stories with what I realized that's going to be always big part of what we do is this is early on when we started. We had a mom and baby yoga class. This is probably now 18, 19 years ago. And the yoga instructor stepped out for a second, and she asked me, "Will you be here after the class?" I said, "Sure." And she said, "Well, there's a client. I think you need to talk to her." I didn't know, anything
Right.
kind of what's going to be taking place. And so after the class, and it was mom and baby class, and so the client, one of our staff was kind of holding the baby so the mom can just kind of visit with me. And she said, I realized, and the baby was, I think he was probably 4 months old at that point. She realized during the class, she realized something is wrong.
Wow. Yeah.
Because she started seeing interactions of the other moms with their babies, and
Yeah.
she was realizing like something is not syncing.
Sure.
And so later on, so she and I had visit and a good cry, both of us,
Yeah.
and after that, I referred her to a therapist, and she was going through a postpartum depression.
Right.
And at that point, I don't want to say severe, but it was, she definitely needed to get a professional help.
Sure.
And so that was kind of like, wow, things which I was not thinking that we are able to address or help,
Yeah.
even
Right.
just with our exercise class. And another kind of a story, and I shared that with a lot of our, clients and staff, is this is again probably 18 years ago. One of our clients, she said, her kind of like a mental check-in is she loves to go to a flower shop and kind of create a little flower bouquet, and that's just
Right.
kind of what makes her happy, and something what she knows that she enjoys.
Yeah.
Once she had her first child, when she would go to this flower market, it didn't do anything for her.
Didn't give her any joy.
It was
Right.
just kind of like,
I'm here.
yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was like for her. So when she and I kind of had a visit, she said that was her kind of like a ding ding, something
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
And I do that for myself. Like, I love making flower arrangements and all that. And so that's almost my kind of like a weekly check-in. It's like, are you good?
Where
are you
am I
still
with
good?
this? Yeah.
So it can be something, even simple like that. And we kind of incorporate that in our,
Wow.
training and kind of onboarding our staff,
Yeah. That's amazing.
just helping clients to kind of give them hints, on maybe kind of the check-in.
Well, that was
Yeah.
actually that's a great segue too. I was wondering, like, how do you recognize the signs? What are some of the signs?
Sure. I mean, definitely kind of like from the, baby blues, postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. We see a lot of times, specifically with our postpartum help, whenever we are in clients' homes with our baby doulas, when the mom is, you see kind of maybe the interaction with the baby, that you don't see that, or
Sure.
mom is just very quick, kind of like step away, or she's of course crying a little bit more than maybe you would expect. Sometimes it's insomnia.
Yeah.
When we work overnights, which majority of our assignments are overnights, maybe the first day or two, mom is not able to sleep because she has a, new person in her home. But every new mom should be able to fall asleep like that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Right.
She's exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, if we see that the mom, it's 2:00 in the morning and she's still kind of keeping herself busy, in the kitchen, it's like, oh, I cannot sleep. It's like, well, that's not normal, right? If sometimes like with the postpartum anxiety, we can be, it could be things that we are changing the baby's diaper, and mom comes back and checks, make sure that the diaper is clean.
Right.
Kind of a little bit
Got
of
it.
obsessive.
Yeah.
Our clients are having a hard time just get in the car and drive.
Right.
There's just so much fear in, which normally it would not be a big deal.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of different things like that. But yeah, definitely kind of the sadness and, and just not kind of feeling like themselves.
Absolutely.
Well, we were talking earlier too, like my niece who was pregnant, how it's so different for her now, her pregnancy, than for the rest before. I'm sure. Yeah, you're probably seeing a lot more anxiety because of COVID.
With the pandemic, I mean, that definitely. I mean, of course, it hit hard everybody. Obviously, and it was really kind of interesting. I had to kind of get myself through. Being there for our clients because you cannot put pregnancy on hold, right?
Yeah.
And so we have clients which, when Houston got shut down and really kind of the world, all of a sudden we have clients, they are still needing childbirth class, right? They still need to learn how to labor, how to nurse their baby. They still have all these needs. And so for us, kind of converting our classes and services immediately into a virtual, so it was really a matter of just days, hours really. Because we had classes scheduled 2 days.
How do we get this done?
And of course now our educators, they never experienced, teaching virtually, and and so it was just these big transitions. But I had this kind of like kind of an internal fuel because I know we cannot, and of course at the same time we are celebrating 20 years of the Motherhood Center.
Right.
And so it was almost like, are we going to make it next week or not?
Right.
So kind of I had that business side and kind of like how to strategically get through this, but the emotional side of being there for our clients and still kind of making their pregnancy as happy as it can be, and because emotionally again, right?
Yep. That's right.
I mean, the incredible stresses and the anxieties now, clients learning that they might be laboring by themselves because their partner cannot be there.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. How did
So,
you make it through personally an incredibly stressful year of COVID in itself, but then owning a business that running a business and owning the business that really depends on you being there for these families and not being able to be there in person probably as much as you were.
Yeah.
How did you personally handle all of that?
And I have a picture of that because, like I said, we had to quickly kind of transfer into a virtual learning, and so I put my warrior hat, and I had like yoga pose in the warrior, and that was kind of my vision, my mission. I'm going to fight for these clients and for our staff, for our team. I just felt like I cannot. Not that I would fail them, but it's like the outside forces.
Right.
Could kind of get to me too, and there were times, I have to be honest, because all of a sudden, of course, everybody's jumping all these podcasts, everybody's doing all this, and I was kind of feeling like, whoa, we need to be there too, but I had to kind of hold myself back. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I love 100% client satisfaction, and really kind of delivering the service, like literally delivering, but delivering service, to really kind of the 100% satisfaction of our clients. And so I kind of tasked myself with that, but at the same time being realistic. And I had this was probably like 3-4 weeks into it. We all have heard kind of like you need to recharge your battery, right? And so, of course, we are kind of running on, full speed ahead and just trying to figure out things and making decisions on things we don't even know anything about.
Right.
You know, like we
Right.
don't know about this virus. Like
Right.
what's really, I mean, the doctors didn't know,
Sure.
right?
Right.
And so we had to make decisions for our clients, for our staff, you know,
Yeah.
with very
Yeah.
little information. And one time I was doing a virtual class, virtual Facebook Live, and I had my phone plugged in, and, you know, we had it like all these electronics tied, and my phone went dead.
Oh.
And so, of course, you know, there's this like little, what is it, like the little robot, you know, on this like, so is my phone like fried? Is it like, what's happening? And it was really just battery.
Oh my gosh.
The battery on the phone
Right.
was drained.
Yeah.
But I was like so in it.
Sure.
I was,
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, okay, this is a reminder. I need to
Exactly.
recharge my battery.
That's exactly
Otherwise,
right.
I cannot take care of my staff.
Right.
I cannot take care of our clients. And so from then on, again, I was like, okay, I have to be like every day. I need to be doing things
Right.
to replenish my battery
Yep.
so I can be there for our staff.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. It's so important that we take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's a great book that you might want to look at. It's called Compassion Fatigue. It's called Prayer for Compassion, written by a friend of mine, Dr. Terry Egan. But it's an amazing book for caregivers because we get compassion fatigue, right? And we've got to take care of ourselves. And the book talks a lot about how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So have you come not full circle, but are you back in homes and able to be there more present now?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's, you know, again, because we have different, you know, 8 different departments.
Yeah.
And so each was kind of opening up in phase 1, phase
Yeah,
2,
good.
phase 3. And so, and we were in some parts essential business.
Yeah.
So we never closed
Oh,
down,
that's
you
good.
know.
Right.
Because even for things like you would not think about, but clients needed to rent a breast pump.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, hospitals were shut down.
Right.
You
Oh.
cannot go to rent a pump at the
No.
hospital. And so we were really the only facility which had access, you know, clients had
Right.
access to.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, we were working remotely. We were, you know, curbside pickup. I mean, there were
Yeah.
just so many things.
Yeah.
So I would say as a business, you know, I mean, we definitely are affected. You know,
Right,
I would
yeah.
not be lying about that.
Sure.
But some parts of the business actually evolve and grew.
Right.
And we actually have more clients than we even would have
Right.
if the virtual offerings would not be in place, because now,
Yeah.
you know, our virtual classes, I mean, we have clients from California to New
That's
York,
awesome.
clients from UK, Australia,
So cool.
which
Yeah.
are
Yep.
utilizing our
Right.
classes and services because
Yeah.
now virtually they
Yeah.
can, where
Yeah.
before we were.
It's
Yeah.
amazing
Not
how
even
we
having
didn't even
that.
think of that, right?
Right.
Like prior to Zoom was there and we were having office meetings and
Yeah.
things like that every once in a while, but that you're actually able to grow your business in a way that we didn't think of.
Yeah.
Did you ever think back in the Czech Republic before you came here that you'd have this amazing business?
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. You know, it's just I was just kind of really kind of following my instinct and I cannot even say following my dreams because
Yeah.
it was just really the business evolved from
Sure.
one day to another and I guess somewhere, you know, kind of have a
Yeah.
entrepreneurial
Right.
you know
You definitely do.
background
Yeah.
and desires
Yeah.
you know, and so
Yeah.
so
So
that
cool.
really
Yeah.
kind of helped me to get through.
That's amazing.
Tell us about your projects. We're working on some projects, the mom check-in and some things going on.
So yeah, like I said, we like to, you know, of course, always listen to our clients. And so one of the first offerings we are rolling out actually this month, it's a new mommy check-in, or it's new mommy and baby check-in. And so because a lot of times, and it really kind of, it started with a lot of our European clients, you know, they are used to have a midwife go to their home for checkups.
Right.
You know, it's not like here,
Right.
you know, you deliver, you go home 24, 48 hours later, and the next time you see your OB, it's 6 weeks later.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot happened, right? Within
Right.
6
Sure.
weeks. And so with this new mommy baby check-in, we can go to a client home and just really literally like check in. And it could be just having a conversation, how things are, answering any questions the client has, maybe weighing the baby, making sure the lactation is going well, you know, patting the mom on her back, you know, just kind
Right.
of giving her
Yeah.
reassurance.
Yeah.
You know, obviously dads, you know, we don't want to forget about them.
Right. Yeah.
So just being there kind of for them, and we can be there just for a couple hours just to kind of make sure things are how they
Yeah.
need to be. And if not, what can we adjust? Because sometimes clients even like, they don't know, especially if they don't take classes maybe with us, they don't know all these little tricks and tips,
Right.
which we can show them,
Sure.
at their home. Or maybe we can see that the nursery, the way you have it set up looks really cute, but not practical.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have diapers there and you have clothes there, and
Right.
and so even kind of a safety measures or car seat, we can
Right.
kind of check, making sure everything is going well. The sleep patterns for the mom and the baby, and
Right.
so so that would be one of our newest kind of a check-in, and that can be done virtually, but also in person.
Yeah.
How do most of your clients find out about you? Is it through word of mouth? Is it through their gynecologist? Is it through or OB
Yeah.
doctor, I should say? But
Yeah.
how do they find you?
I guess kind
Usually.
of all the above.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a pretty strong word of mouth. So as soon as clients are, expecting their friends, like, oh, you need to go to the
Right.
Motherhood Center, get a massage, or you need to do their
Yeah.
yoga.
Yeah.
Kind of a baby shower registries, different things like that we can arrange for clients. So definitely word of mouth. A lot of OBs, medical community knows about us, and
Good.
and so kind of letting them know that way. Definitely internet, social media.
Sure.
And so, and us being, around for 20 years now, so our website is pretty strong and has a strong organic search.
Good.
But we have every, the pregnancy, we have clients for just a few months at a time, and they are always new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so you can, and it's kind of this is more kind of on the, I guess, business side, not so much the mental health, but it's interesting because so many of our clients are professional women,
Right.
right? And they are focusing on their career. They, have the whole boardroom, kind of listening to them, and now they are expecting.
Right.
And I tell clients and I do maternity consultations, and I can kind of help clients process things too. But from the time you see the positive test, your world is completely different.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, clients have questions like, can I sit this way? Can I think this way? Can I
Right.
eat this?
Yeah.
Can I, and so now you are still maintaining your career, right? And now you have this overload of information.
Right.
And that's kind of where,
Right.
with the Motherhood Center, with our classes,
Yeah.
we are trying to kind of really give them the most study-based, non-judgmental information, so they don't have to read 20 books,
Right.
while they are still, working full-time.
Sure.
And so just really kind of helping them through this journey.
Yeah.
And with that too, it's been interesting because it takes them a while before they share that they are expecting for many different reasons, right? And so maybe the lady who really needs to know about us already in the first trimester, still kind of like secretly maybe
Yeah.
checking our website, but
Right.
she's not clicking the like on our Facebook page
Exactly,
because
yeah.
now she's announcing the world. It's like, what are you trying to tell
Right.
us?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so-
Wow.
Well, yes.
So amazing.
We're running out of time. I usually do a 2-minute warning, but I haven't even done that. So
Yeah.
we're actually over
I
our
know,
time.
this was
Oh, I know.
amazing today.
I know.
How
But
do
it's-
people find you? Like, I
Sure.
know all of those things, but what's your
Yeah.
website and
So it's
best way?
motherhoodcenter.com.
Okay.
That's our website. Soon, I don't know when this is going to be aired, but there will be. This is aired.
This week.
Okay,
Oh.
so
Yeah,
so
it'll
I'm
be
not
aired
going
this week.
to announce
that's all
that
right.
yet. We can do like
To
a
be continued.
Yeah,
to be
Yeah.
continued.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right now it's
Cool.
motherhoodcenter.com and but yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome.
So amazing. It's a whole world, of course, that is somewhat foreign to me.
Yeah.
But it's amazing hearing about this, and I know that it's so important to so many people. So thank you for
Yeah.
what you do
Thank
for
you.
so
Yeah.
many women
Well,
and
thank you.
families,
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So even
Incredible.
grandparents, we have grandparents refresher classes.
I love that.
That is so cool.
yeah.
And I was sitting here thinking in my entrepreneurial mind, I was like, gosh, you could apply the same concept to aging parents.
Oh,
You could
for
have the
sure.
same Motherhood Center for the
Yeah.
Daughterhood
Yes,
Center.
yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do it in so many different
Yeah.
spectrums of our lifespan, I think. So, so
Yeah.
cool that it starts with you.
Yeah. Well, we have, a lot of my friends, they're like, what are you doing for empty nesters?
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
And I was thinking of my own niece, just real quick before we
Yeah.
go. She has a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, And I thought, God, you could even do this beyond, infancy.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
You could just
For
do
sure.
the Motherhood Center all the way through.
People need
Yeah.
support
Like you said, till they're
that.
18.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Flowers, how does someone reach you if they want to reach the J. Flowers Health Institute?
jflowershealth.com. Yeah. Our website, or 713-783-6655. It's our phone number. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening, and thank you again for being on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
nice
having
to meet
me.
you.
Same
yeah.
here.
Great.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.